66. So boy, the Jobs comforter fallacy. Did I say
You
that?
got yep,
Okay.
you did. Number 66, the jobs comforter fallacy. Also, karma is a bitch, or what goes around comes around. The fallacy that since there is no such thing as random chance and we, I, my group, or my country, are under special protection of heaven, any misfortune or natural disaster that we suffer must be a punishment for our own or someone else's secret sin or open wickedness. The opposite of the appeal to heaven. This is the fallacy employed by the Westboro Baptist Church members who protest fallen service members' funerals all around the United States. See also magical thinking.
Wow.
Interesting. Interesting they call this one the jobs comforter fallacy. I'm not sure exactly why they called it that.
Yeah. I do understand more karma is a bitch and what goes around comes around.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
make more sense. So yeah, this sucks. This is like um if somebody died or gets assaulted, sexually harassed, all the most horrible things, it's oh well, they probably deserved it because people don't have things put upon them that they don't deserve. And it's just that assumption. That sucks. That's gross.
Hmm. Yeah. This one's interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I've heard people that were religious say that because my life is so great, there must be a God. And the argument that I've heard against that is okay, well, what about the 10,000 children that starve to death every day? Do they, is God still real for them? And I shit you not, I've literally heard them say, well, we don't know for sure, but either they or someone in their ancestry did something that probably caused them to deserve that.
Yeah,
And
the concept of original sin is what it's what you're referencing when people say that.
yeah, yeah. That's gross. That sucks.
Hmm.
That it's all every bad thing that happens to people is justified. So in like the great plan, therefore there's no reason for us to seek justice on earth.
Yeah, it's like what I'm hearing you share there is like it's like an excuse to not help now. It's like a reason to used as a reason to not find a way to solve the problem because oh that's their life. And so I have no need to help. That kind of like reminds me, interesting in my own world right now. Something that I've been diving more into is with how I approach homeless people and how I see them. Um, I noticed that for a while it was really difficult to look at homeless people in the eye. And people, specifically people on the side of the road begging.
Right. Because you can look at me just fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But specifically people on the side of the road begging. And begging because for whatever reason, the circumstances in their life have led to a moment where their only option that they have, or what they're rather, what they're choosing to do in that moment with their time is to stand in the road with a sign and hope that people are willing to give them money, which to me is like if you think of all the fears we have and all the pains that we have as humans, like we're all afraid of not being accepted, as an example, because of our tribal parts of our brain that want to be, if we are accepted by the tribe, then we're kept safe. If we're not accepted, then we are in danger. And so, like they're in that thing, they're also confronting their ability to ask for things. So is a whole bunch of stuff there. Um, and I noticed that for myself, it was really hard to look at them because a lot of the times they would look really sad or hopeless, or maybe they didn't have all their teeth, or maybe um, like whatever it is, right? And I, even though I would have cash in my wallet at times, I would find myself looking at a home, like someone on the side of the road like that, and beginning to gauge, do I think they deserve money? And as I started to kind of go down that thought, I was like, man, I think there's something really wrong with how I'm thinking about this. And I think of what I need to do here is I really need to pay attention. And so I began to look them in the eye and talk to them when I would pass by. And it was so hard in the beginning because immediately I was aware of a whole bunch of things. Like I was aware of, oh wow, I have this story in my head that my life is so hard and I've got it so bad. And that story has kept me righteous about myself, me feeling right about my circumstance for so long. And as soon as I look at that person who's been wearing the same shirt for 4 days in a row, because it's the only one they have, is dirty, is missing teeth, is limping, has only one shoe, and can hardly stand because they're malnourished and potentially mentally ill. I look at that person and immediately I'm confronted with my own bullshit, my own addiction to my own stories. And that's insanely uncomfortable, or it was insanely uncomfortable, and still is. And so I started to experiment with, okay, I'm going to make sure that anytime there's someone on the side of the road begging, I'm really going to look at them. And I'm going to wait until we make eye contact. I want them to know that I see them. And even if I can't give something in that moment, I at least can give them my attention and my acknowledgement that they exist, that they're not lost on the side of the road, that no one, that they're not, yeah, that they're not lost. And since it's changed where if I've got bills in my wallet, the biggest bill goes to the person on the side of the road. If I've got a 100, a 50, a 20, and a 5 and a couple of ones, I pull the 100 out and I give it to the person who needs it. And one of my favorite things to watch is to hand someone that type of money and to watch them pack up their sign and leave. Because to me, I'm like, oh man, they don't have to keep doing that for the rest of the day. They can go do something else. And it's I really, yeah. So, but that process was so difficult, and it took time. It took months of like being intentional about it. I'm still doing it. I still find myself have resistance to looking at home people on the side of the road begging, and it's like, yeah, I think that I think because that's so difficult, even just that, it's so difficult to allow someone else's life to give our life perspective to challenge our own limiting structures about how we're living. I think it's easier to just create a fallacy that they deserve it. And Yeah, it's a tough one.
For sure. I've heard my parents and other people that were much older than me when I was little tell me that all homeless people are drug addicts, and so don't give them any money because they don't actually need it. It's just going to go to drugs,
Yeah,
and that was their excuse to
yeah,
never help anybody.
yeah, yeah. Now,
That
now don't.
reminded
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. If I see somebody who their eyes are closed, they're shaking and they're drooling, there's a part of me that I genuinely get worried. The part that's a genuine concern is I'm like, okay, that person may be on what's it, withdrawal right now. And if I give that person $100, could I be funding their overdose? And so I do think about that. So it's like depending on the individual, and I can't tell, for certain if someone's doing drugs or not, but it does go into my account when I've got money to give in my wallet, cash, and I see someone and they're not looking so hot. There's a part of me that does think of, okay, I do want to help this person, and I don't want them to go and kill themselves the moment I give them something substantial. So I do try to see people who they appear based off of as much as I can see, appear as though this is a temporary part of their life that won't last forever. They're just really down on their luck. I try to discern that, and of course I'm not always going to be right. But I do think about that because to me it's like I would feel horrible if I gave $100 to someone and they just spent it all on heroin and killed themselves. That would devastate me to know that I actually enabled that because I wasn't paying close enough attention. So I do my best to navigate that, although it's difficult.
for sure. I don't know how. I was gonna say this is advice, but I guess this is just a story. So I don't know how helpful this is for everybody, but in Santa Clarita, um, there's a Six Flags over here, and I uh, had a friend slash acquaintance last year that was unhoused. She was a mother, and I knew that she took heavy drugs, and she was asking for money
Mm,
and for food, and I'm like, I I don't know for sure what she's going to spend the money on. So what I did was I took her to Six Flags Magic Mountain. I got her a season pass, and I got her the food pass, so she could get free food the entire fucking year, the whole year.
mm,
Um, so I think that was worth it, because now I know for sure. Okay, her and her baby, she is good. She's good for the whole year. So that's only helpful if you live close to a theme park. But so I don't know how helpful that is in Austin, but if you're in Dallas or what was it, San Antonio, right? There's another one. Uh, yeah, if you have 250 bucks and you want to help someone the whole year, bring them to the local park and give them a food pass. They're good the whole year. So um, I don't know. I felt good about that. I don't know how much she actually used it, but it was still good that I know that she was taken care of for sure.
yeah. It's a good one. Thank you for that share.
Absolutely.